Have you ever done this? You're relaxing on the couch, watching your favorite show, and you look over and your dog is just completely glued to the screen? It's a funny sight, right? But it really makes you wonder, what is actually going on inside that free little head? So let's dive right into that question. Today, we're going to decode what the world's, and yeah, your television really looks like from your dog's point of view. And I'll give you a hint, it's probably not what you're thinking. Okay, first up, let's talk about your dog and the TV. You might be surprised to learn that what they see is a completely different world from the one we see. So, take a look at this. For us humans, the world is this beautiful, vibrant rainbow of colors. But for your dog, their world is painted mostly in shades of yellow and blue. They can't really distinguish between reds and greens. So that bright red ball you throw on the green grass, to them, it kind of just looks like two similar yellowish blobs. On top of that, their vision is also a little bit more blurry than ours. And this number right here, this is the real game changer, 70 plus. That's the minimum number of frames per second a dog's brain needs to see smooth, continuous motion. Think about older TVs. They had a much lower refresh rate, so for a dog, watching one of those was like looking at a choppy, flickering flipbook. Pretty boring, right? But our modern TVs, they have a much higher frame rate, which makes them way more engaging for our four-legged friends. So what on TV actually gets them to stop and stare? Well, it's got to be the stuff that connects to their real-world doggy instincts. You know, things like the high-pitched squeak of a toy, a command that sounds familiar, and especially the sound of other dogs barking or growling. Oh, and of course, any fast-moving objects. That just triggers their natural prey drive, that instinct to chase. If what's on screen isn't related to these things, they'll probably just get bored and wander off. You know, understanding how dogs see and hear the world really helps us interact with them better. So for our next section, let's talk about making new furry friends. Because that first hello, that is such a critical moment. I want you to think about this for a second. In our human world, looking someone in the eye is a sign of respect and confidence. But in the dog world, whoa, not so much. A direct stare can be seen as really rude, or maybe even as a challenge. This is a perfect example of why we need to learn their language. So here is your 5-step guide to a perfect introduction. First, and this is non-negotiable, always ask the owner for permission. Second, be patient. Let the dog approach you. Don't rush him. Third, remember what we just learned. Avoid that direct eye contact. Fourth, slowly offer the back of your hand, palm down, and just let them have a good sniff. And finally, when you do pet them, go for their neck or shoulders. Petting the top of the head can be a little intimidating for some dogs. And as you're interacting, you gotta be a body language detective. A friendly, happy dog will have a relaxed, kind of curved body, a loosely wagging tail, and they might even do that adorable play bow. But if you see them licking their lips a lot, yawning when they're not tired, showing their teeth, or holding their tail up really stiffly, those are all signs of stress. And that's your cue to just calmly back off and give them some space. All right, now for the really fun part. Let's decode some of those quirky, sometimes weird, but always wonderful behaviors that make our dogs, well, dogs. I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. First up, the zoomies. That sudden, totally wild burst of energy where they just tear around the house or the yard like a little race car. What is that all about? It's pure joy. That's all it is. Zoomies are just a happy release of pent-up energy. You might even notice it most after something like a bath, which can be a little stressful for them. It's their way of literally shaking off that nervous energy and celebrating their freedom. Okay, here's another classic. A fire truck or an ambulance goes by, and suddenly your dog is lifting their head to the sky and letting out this long, soulful howl. Is the sound actually hurting their ears? Nope, it's not about pain at all. That high-pitched frequency of a siren actually sounds a lot like another dog howling to them. So it triggers this deep, ancient instinct to respond, to communicate with what they think is another member of their pack. It's pretty much them just saying, "Hey, I hear you out there." It's amazing how much instinct drives their behavior, right? Shaking a toy is just their inner wolf playing out a little hunting sequence. When they sit on your feet, that's a sweet way to show affection and kind of claim you as their person. And chasing their tail, usually, it's just them being silly and burning off some steam. You know, to truly understand our dogs, we have to look back, way, way back. Their journey from wild wolves to the beloved companions curled up on our couches is just an incredible story of partnership. And this partnership is ancient. We're talking about the first hints of wolf dogs living with humans almost 30,000 years ago.
Widespread domestication really kicked in around 14,000 years ago. For millennia, we shaped them. By the 1700s, you could see distinct breeds like the pug showing up in paintings. And now, today, there are over 190 recognized breeds in the United States alone. It's just wild.
And we bred them for specific jobs. We created specialists. We bred greyhounds for their incredible speed to hunt game. We bred St. Bernards for their strength and endurance to perform mountain rescues. We bred these tiny, tenacious terriers for pest control. And we bred massive, imposing mastiffs to be the ultimate watchdogs. Every breed had a purpose.
And that's why this history matters so much. When you understand their original jobs, it helps you appreciate their unique needs and instincts today. You know, a terrier loves to dig because that's what it was bred to do. A greyhound needs space to run. Their history is literally written in their DNA.
So let's do a quick recap of what we've learned today. We now know that dogs see TV completely differently, and they need those high frame rates to even see a clear picture. We've covered the polite, best way to say hello to a new dog. We've decoded quirky behaviors like zoomies and howling and seen how they're all rooted in instinct. And finally, we've seen how thousands of years of shared history have shaped the amazing dogs we love today.
If you enjoyed decoding your dog's world with us, please do us a favor and hit that subscribe button for the Love Dogs channel. We're always exploring new ways to help you understand your best friend even better.
And I'll leave you with this final thought. Now that you know a little more about why they do what they do, from how they see the world to the instincts they carry, what's one new thing you can do today to make your dog's day even better? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me.